Dirty Dan. I don't know what you mean. I'm Dirty Dan.
It's absolutely amazing.
I'm Dirty Dan.
Whoa, Dirty Dan.
Mel Gibson attempted to warn us about the hidden evils of this world countless times in the past 30 years. Whether he was outing predatory Hollywood elites or attacking the president, he refused to hold his tongue on controversial topics, which made some very powerful people upset with him. His unapologetic opinions have rendered him a reputation as homophobic, anti-Semitic, racist, an abuser, and straight up crazy, which resulted in him losing major film roles and nearly being blacklisted from Hollywood.
Most people's number one fear is public humiliation, okay? I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not afraid of it, because I've had plenty.
However, after his recent appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, it seems the opinion about Mel has dramatically shifted. Love how Mel is at the intersection of genius and madman. Mel Gibson, one of the few Hollywood actors that I feel has a heart of truth. Over the years, Hollywood's dark secrets have slowly come to light, with some of the most unimaginable conspiracies being considered in normal discourse. Today we are going to analyze the controversial things that ruined Mel Gibson's reputation in Hollywood, starting with this 1998 interview where he may have crossed a line.
Other points of interest about women, you know.
There's a producer I know, successful producer, I will not mention names, but his whole opinion about women on film, from beginning to end, is very brief. He says, women on film, either naked or dead. Both is better.
Although we don't know for sure, perhaps Gibson was referring to Harvey Weinstein, because just a couple years after this interview, he created the film Frida, where Salma Hayek alleged that Weinstein would only let her finish the film if she agreed to do a scene with another woman, and he demanded full frontal nudity. Even if that allegation is false, there is no doubt that the mantra, get naked, get nominated, has become kind of a running joke in Hollywood.
You know, it used to be, you get naked, you get nominated.
But when you think about it, that's kind of a dark reality for women in film. In the past 37 years, only 2 women who won Best Actress at the Oscars had never been on camera. Cher, who won in 1987, and Michelle Yeoh, who won in 2023. Now, the specific roles that got these women the nominations or victories were not always the films that they were nude in, but considering 95% of the winners were naked on film at some point in their career, does beg the question if the elites demand this requirement. Hollywood quickly made Mel realize that normal life is much more appealing than the not-so-glamorous red carpet. He was an outsider, born one of 11 siblings in the Hudson Valley area of New York. His father uprooted his family to Sydney, Australia, where Mel began studying theater and performance art while taking on small acting roles. His big break came in 1979 with the cult classic Australian film Mad Max. Produced on a budget of just $350,000, Mad Max earned an astounding $100 million worldwide, setting a Guinness World Record as the most profitable film in history at that point. Naturally, they made a follow-up film, which many fans believe to be one of the best sequels ever. Mel continued to focus on Australian films. By 1985, he had a few hits under his belt and even was paid $1 million for his reprisal of Max Rokitansky in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. In 1987, the 30-year-old Australian superstar decided to take his talents to Los Angeles, California, where he immediately felt uncomfortable with his surroundings.
When I came over here, you know, I had a whole bunch of suspicions about what the hell was going on, because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand, and nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town, about the people in it, that were like, surely.
We're watching the confessions that ruined Mel Gibson's life. We just cooling and vibing. Then I'll probably get on. Then I probably yeah, we're gonna get on some games. So come on, big back. You know what I'm talking about?
That couldn't be.
First meal of the day, guys still doing points. Don't start doing
points. The whole
points.
place can't be like, you know, weird town, you know, with. And I found, because I had
an Australian superstar decided to take his talents to Los Angeles, California, where he immediately felt uncomfortable with his surroundings.
When I came over here, you know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand. And nobody was really bothering to.
I be sleeping over there. Well, this is my mattress. I be sleeping over there. So yeah, I be having some niggy nap time. Yeah, I be taking naps.
Explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions.
I don't be here consistently all the time. I mean, I be here, or I'll go to the store.
Surely that couldn't be, because
I be taking naps.
A whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like. Could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track. That some of your worst nightmares were real.
It's tough to know exactly what Mel was referring to. Was he just simply put off by rude socialites who are raised in the valley and act like Los Angeles is the center of the universe? Or did he see something darker and more suspicious? The AFC and NFC Championship weekend is almost here, and Underdog is the place to play. I've been looking to get the use code of the Stucker that would catapult him in 1987 into a W with Underdog. Despite him feeling uneasy, he stuck around. In 1987, he landed a leading role in the buddy action movie Lethal Weapon that would catapult him into A-list fame. Lethal Weapon became a massive hit, ranking as the 8th highest grossing film of '87 and kickstarting an iconic franchise with 4 movies in total. Mel generated nearly $900 million at the worldwide box office in the 80s, making him more successful than guys like John Travolta and Samuel Jackson. However, his global box office success in the 90s would make him the 10th highest earning actor in the industry, just ahead of 90s icons like Jim Carrey and Tom Cruise. And that's due to...
Y'all about to make me not lock into this reaction. Negroes have united. Yeah, Game of Thrones is pressure, bro. It's good. Well, it's good. I'm glad that you enjoying it. I'm not gonna say anything, but just keep enjoying it, my nigga.
To his run of hits, including the thriller Ransom, the Disney classic Pocahontas, where he voices John Smith, and of course, his most iconic film, Braveheart. Released in 1995, the film was directed by Gibson, and he also played the lead role of William Wallace, who led a rebellion against English oppression in the late 13th century. The film was an absolute smash, making about 4 times its original budget and providing fans with...
I actually never saw this movie. I've seen clips, and I know people that's like, oh, that's one of the top tier movie, bro. Top 5 movies of all time or whatever. I ain't never seen Braveheart. Ain't no black people in it.
Quotable, patriotic lines for decades.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
The film cleaned house when it came to awards the following year, winning Best Picture, Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Effects, Sound Effects, Editing, and Best Makeup. And while most celebrities at their peak would do anything to protect their money and status, Gibson did the exact opposite. He was eager to speak his mind about anything, no matter how controversial it was. Like in this 1995 interview with Playboy magazine, where he made comments about world leaders and hinted at the existence of a deeper, more secretive government entity. How do you feel about Bill Clinton? He's a low-level opportunist. Somebody's telling him what to do. Who? The guy who's in charge isn't going to be the front man ever. If I were going to be calling the shots, I wouldn't make an appearance. Would you? You'd end up losing your head. It happens all the time. All those monarchs. If he's the leader, he's getting shafted. What's keeping him in there? Why would you stay for that kind of abuse? Except that he has to stay for some reason. He was meant to be the president 30 years ago, if you ask me. He was just 18 then. Somebody knew then that he would be president now. You really believe that? I really believe that. He was a Rhodes Scholar, right? Just like Bob Hawke. Do you know what a Rhodes Scholar is? Cecil Rhodes established the Rhodes Scholarship for those young men and women who want to strive for a new world order. Have you heard that before? George Bush? CIA? Really, it's Marxism, but it doesn't want to call itself that. Carl had the right idea, but he was too forward about saying what it was. Get power, but don't admit to it. Do it by stealth. There's a whole trend of Rhodes Scholars who will be politicians around the world. As you can see, Mel Gibson was a conspiracy theorist before before it was considered cool. Because Mel's theory about Bill Clinton is very similar to what many have felt and talked about Joe Biden for the past 4 years, primarily due to Donald Trump just straight up saying that a shadowy secret entity referred to as the deep state are actually running the country. Now, both political parties have justifiably criticized Joe Biden's mental and physical health, questioning if he was ever fit to hold office, but even if the deep state is just a conspiracy, we can all agree that rich oligarchs with billions invested into lobbying and greasing politicians' pockets are really who call the shots in this country. Yet just when it seems like Mel Gibson is voicing opinions no other celebrity would dare risk, he says something that makes you genuinely question his sanity. Like when he met Christopher Walken and witnessed his supernatural abilities?
No, he came to see me on a rooftop in New York. I said, hey, can I talk to you? And he said, sure. And he floated in, sideways, through a crowd of people. He was wearing black. And it was like one of those old vampire movies where they, through a crowd of people. He floated in, sideways, through a crowd of people. He was floated in a rooftop in New York. I said, hey, can I talk to you? And he said, sure. And
this nigga met Batman. He said that nigga was on drugs. He met Batman. I'm about to say, first off, you met him on a rooftop. And he floated in wearing all black. Sideways? I'm not gonna hold you. Whatever gas that nigga on, nigga, pass that shit, nigga, because that nigga, he met Batman. Coco, what it do, what it do, what it do?
Loco Coco is in the motherfucking building.
What's good? Nigga, I ain't even gonna hold you. I want to know what he was smoking. That's some wild shit. I'm just doing some reactions right now. Getting my big back on, eating some food. And then I'll probably get into some games. What's the word, though? How you feeling, Coco? Hit her with the voice. She does it to everybody. If you know, you know. Why everyone doing that shit? Oh, weak as that ass. Everybody be hitting you with that shit now. I've been peeping too. Because it's catchy. It's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? It's dope.
He floated in, sideways. Yeah, and he said,
run back.
He floated in, sideways, through a crowd of people. He was wearing sideways. Black. And it was like one of those old vampire movies where they don't walk, but they glide. And he was a dancer, you know, so he has he's very...
Welcome back. You never left.
Graceful.
Yeah.
And he moved sideways.
You were just in the cut chilling.
On a chair next to me. And it kind of frightened me. And he's a very smart guy. And we started talking, and I didn't, say much of anything about reading the script, nothing. I just started talking about the Middle Ages, and he began to talk.
I think those stories do be true, though.
Tortures, because I'd read this book on torture, and I tried to recall some of the most heinous things I'd ever read in this book, and he was like, oh, and he'd try and top it, and and my assistant was there, and he left because he couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
The air had turned cold. And then he left, and I wanted to leave because I knew that I didn't want to work with him. And he was getting scary. And then I turned around, and it was on top of the Peninsula Hotel. I turned around to avoid his steady gaze at one point.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a building with the top of the sixes on it. So there was a huge illuminated 666 in red.
Yeah.
And I went from that to that to that, and he started smiling. And I thought, oh no. Chris Walken is the Antichrist. Yeah.
Mel toes this line of absolute insanity while recalling enough details to believe his stories are true. Does Mel actually think Christopher Walken has some sort of devil?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, though. This nigga, back in the day, if anybody was gonna be like, yo, he might be a devil, especially that nigga's demeanor, how he used to talk and shit. Not gonna hold you. That's not that far-fetched. That's not that crazy of a stretch. I would have been like, you know what? And this nigga wearing a black, wearing all black. You know what? I can kind of see that. It's that's a hobgoblin. That's what I'm saying. You know what? Maybe Mel Gibson ain't that crazy.
Nigga!
Maybe that nigga ain't that crazy. Because, I'm not gonna lie, lie, bro. You do look kind of antichrist. That nigga batshit crazy.
Devilish abilities, or did they simply have a strange conversation? And he is referencing the 1993 film True Romance, where Walken says he is the Antichrist.
Do you know who I am, Mr. Woolley?
Who are you?
The Antichrist.
But this wasn't the only time in the interview where Gibson mentioned a satanic presence in Hollywood.
A place like this can humiliate you.
It was good, these.
And it can humiliate you,
Yeah!
it can be humbling.
And that nigga owe me
It does
$5.
rip your life to pieces.
Mel Gibson owe you $5? I get that. You know that nigga rich. He rich. Be crazy. Be rich. He might give you that $5 and call you a nigga.
Does it?
If you'll let it.
Yeah.
If you'll let him. You heard what he said.
And it's always pounding at the walls.
Yeah.
These little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram to beat your walls in.
Now, I think it's safe to assume that Mel did not actually meet little trolls with horns on their heads. But still to this day, there are widespread fears of satanic ritual abuse and cult activity, particularly in Hollywood. These fears go all the way back to
Nigga!
That was crazy timing. Go back to... No. I was just about to say...
Stop it. Get some help.
I was just going to say... I get that Mel Gibson is fucking nuts. But... a lot of crazy people aren't just crazy just because they're crazy. They're crazy because... well, yeah, and racist. They're crazy because of two things. Circumstance, psychosis, or substances. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and say he may had a little bit of all three of them, Johns. But the one I'm locking in is on, like, not so much the substance, because everybody fucking does something in Hollywood. So he's got to be all types of skied up or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? He got to be twisted. But, like, the circumstance, bro. He definitely has seen some wild ass shit. He calls us the blacks. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of cool. I fuck with the blacks. I call you the black. Yeah, we are the blacks. What's wrong with that? Hold on, what's wrong with that? I'm okay with that. The blacks. Yeah, I'm with that. What's wrong with that? The blacks? That shit sounds... the blacks. Nigga, that's my last name. That's my family. We all kin to cozy. We all blacks. That's funny as shit. I'm okay with that.
Nigga! Century Rome.
We all blacks.
That secret Satan worshiping
Dr. Umar would not
approve.
Funny that you said that, bro, because that's gonna be a great segue for the next reaction we do, and then we're gonna get into some games.
Ritualistically abuse and sacrifice children. The European witch hunts of the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries also incorporated claims of devil worship and child sacrifice. But America, which is a predominantly Christian nation, didn't feel any widespread threat of Satanism until the 1980s during the Satanic Panic, and most of that threat came from Hollywood. Movies like The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby were frequently cited as examples of Hollywood glorifying Satanism and influencing impressionable audiences.
I did see both of those. I don't really remember Rosemary's Baby, but I liked it, The Exorcist. I even got an Exorcist hoodie. I'm not gonna hold you. It was a good movie. You want Nuggie? You want Nuggie? I give you Nuggie. Oh, I got one more left. I got Nuggie left.
With
but it was a good movie.
Imagery. Bands like Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and Iron Maiden were targeted for their dark imagery and lyrics, with people being so desperate that they played the song. It
was more funny than scary. That's what I'm saying, bro. Messages. It wasn't really that scary. It was just like so fucking crazy and twisted at the time. Niggas, we ain't never seen no little white girl get like exercised before, like twisting her head around.
Nigga!
And then when the demon got in her ass and started talking, like, yo, I don't know what it is about when the demon possesses somebody and they get to talking all type of cash money shit. It'd be like, bro, you remember the one job, the sound I had when she got possessed? She was like, I can smell your nappy pussy. They just be saying anything, huh? Them demons don't give a fuck. They don't care, bro. They'll say whatever comes to their mind, bro. And I know it's not funny. It's fucking funny. I'm sorry. It is. I ain't gonna lie. It's maybe seeing that in real life. Not so much. But nigga, I cannot hold you. Nigga. That shit is hilarious. Oh, shit. Man. At NIGU,
this was seemingly
not the NIGU force, bro.
Overreaction from conservative parents around the country. But Mel Gibson was living in the heart of the land that people deemed as demonic, and it compelled him to make the world know exactly who he tied his allegiance to. Mel was steamrolling into the 2000s, and it looked like he was on his way to being a top 10 superstar for the next decade. What women
That's
want.
What makes it laugh. That's not. All right, for the record, y'all. YouTube as well. We're not making fun of like demon possessions and shit like that. That shit is a real thing. Not making fun of real exorcisms and shit like that and possessions. It's real. It's real. But goddamn it, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe crackheads are possessed by demons, because why the fuck do they sound so similar? I'm sorry. Why do they sound so goddamn similar? Whenever someone's possessed, they sound like a fiend on a block. And it's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
Chicken Run and Signs were back-to-back multi-hundred-million-dollar hits. His peak in success would be in 2004, but it also resulted in his demise. In 2004, Mel Gibson wrote and directed the controversial film The Passion of the Christ, which depicts the final 12 hours.
I remember this, John. This shit had... Man, I didn't even see this shit. But this shit had the whole fucking world in an uproar right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, when that shit came out, I was like, bro, what? You gonna watch it? You gonna watch it on stream? You gotta... Bro, let me know when you watch Passion of the Christ, bro. You gonna watch this shit on stream, bro? I ain't gonna hold you. That's a great-ass idea. That is a great-ass idea. I'm not gonna hold you. Get zooted, take some shots. What if you did a drinking game out of it? Oh, we going to hell. We all going to hell, cuz. I'm about to say, bro. There's so many titties and ass on my stream earlier. Oh, yeah. I'm about to say Game of Thrones. You already know, bro. You already know. Game of Thrones, you're going to see all type of titties and ass and a whole lot of incest.
Stop it. Get some help.
Bro, this is Cozy's idea. I'm just saying, it's kind of a good idea. Best movie ever? All right, Tori, don't gas it now, because now I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. That sounds like a good idea. Because I don't remember really seeing it either. My mom went to the movie and seen it. Oh, yeah, and yep, there's a lot of, there's grape as well. But you cried so much? Really? Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, my sentiments exactly, perfectly timed. I'm like, man.
Nigga!
Yeah, cuz we'll talk, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. That might be a solid watch, bro.
Hours of the life of Jesus of Nazareth on the day of his crucifixion in Jerusalem. After release, the reception was mixed. Opposers believed that the brutality and torture displayed in the film was over the top, but Christians...
So they really be whooping his ass. What's the rules for the drinking game? That's not my game, bro. I was throwing suggestions out there. You know what I'm saying? This is Cozy's endeavor. I couldn't give you the specifics, my G. I don't even know. Remind me of my childhood. They beat the skin off folks. W trauma. Sorry, not sorry. I love Jesus. Jesus is my homeboy. I love Jesus too.
Believe that the movie helps us understand just how horribly Jesus suffered.
You know, you step into that arena, you know,
It's going to create some fireworks.
Did you think about that before you did it?
Well, I thought, a lot of other people did it. George Stevens did it, and Cecil B. DeMille, and Franco Zeffirelli did it, and man, they didn't get too much. So I thought, I'll just try this, but man, it just was like, it was like lighting the world on fire.
Well, you brought the pain to it.
I sort of, got gritty with it.
Did you ever think it was?
He's definitely high right now too. You can tell by his mannerisms and how he's moving. He definitely railed up before this interview. He high as fuck.
Too much?
Of course it was too much. Yes, that was the whole point of it. It was the mystery of suffering. And, which is the sacrificial lamb, I mean, if it was
If there was no AC in this room, he'd be sweating balls right now. He's geeking, bruh. You can tell from the mannerisms. If this room wasn't AC, nigga be sweating his ass off.
It isn't worth much.
We know that Mel's film is not completely accurate to the Bible, such as depicting Satan as a woman and overemphasizing the story on Mary. The ADL, the leading anti-hate organization working to stop the defamation of Jewish people, said this film continues its unambiguous portrayal of Jews as being responsible for the death of Jesus. There is no question in this film about who is responsible. At every single opportunity, Mr. Gibson's film reinforces the notion that the Jewish authorities and the Jewish mob are the ones ultimately responsible for the crucifixion.
The Vatican proclaimed that the Jews were not responsible for the murder of Jesus. Gibson is setting the clock back. It's not about acting. It's about Mel Gibson at his anti-Semitic worst. This lie inspired the murder of my people and the millions over the centuries, and this lie inspired the Holocaust.
Chewing air sandwiches
but with
and
all
shit.
the controversy, the film did amazing at the box office.
Really eating a real wish
With a budget of
sandwich.
just $30 million, it made more than $600 million worldwide, holding the record for the highest earning R-rated film for years. Additionally, the film can be credited in making church attendance rise and inspiring many people to reconsider and focus more attention on their faith. Regardless of its biblical inaccuracies,
that was one thing too. Like I said, my mama went to go see it in the movies, and when it came out, she dead ass was like on a real. Well, she was already, very religious and shit, because I was born Christian too. I was born in a Christian household. She still is too. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, when that shit came out and she watched it, bruh, when I tell you for like maybe a few months, because it died down after a while. She didn't, life be lifing. Nigga, she made my ass go to so much church. I went to so much church. So much church. And niggas ever been to Saturday church? I went to Sunday church. Well, I went to Saturday church, Sunday church. I even had Bible study on Thursday, cuz. 3 times a week. I went to so much church, cuz. I was like, yo. Oh my, I was ready. I was like, bro, I'm going to so much church. It's gonna sound fucked up, but I'm like, bro, I want to go hit the block. I need some bad shit to happen to me, bro. This is just too much. It's too much. Like, I needed some bad shit to happen, bro. I needed to. I was like, bro. Wonder what selling drugs is like. Yo, I dead ass. I needed some type of discourse in my life. I had way too much church, and then once it chilled. Like the damage was already done. Once you jump off the porch, there's no jumping back in. So after that, I was like, oh fuck. Well, we're here now. We'll make the best of it. Newsflash: Jews killed Jesus. Dumbass. That's true. Yeah. My mama did the same shit. That's why I ended up hating it. Yes, yo. I think black mamas be doing that, yo. Especially back in the day. Because I was like, bruh. My dad married my stepmom. She was super religious. He was trying to get them buns. So I get that. Instantly looking for shit. Bro, honestly, as soon as I get out of fucking Bible study, I'd be like, all right, bro, what we on? You know what I'm saying? Trying to find something bad to do. Something to get into, bro. Like, anything. And then there was no hoes in Bible study. It was just me. Well, there was one, but she was like the sister of one of my friends, and y'all know how that go. So I was just like, oh, well. I'm not gonna fuck your sister. I know. I was like, no, I'm not gonna fuck your sister. But the hood rat shit with my friend, bro. I needed that. I was dead ass like I felt like Milton. And then once, you know what I'm saying?
I'm fuck with.
Bro.
Once I got tired of, once my mom chilled out with the church and stuff, and I was still doing the shit. I'm like, oh, this sucks. This fuck. I can really get in trouble. All right. But it was still fun when I did it. But now, outside looking in, I'm like, oh, yeah, nigga, that shit sucks. I lost my virginity to 2 sisters in the choir. I'm not going to lie. Choir shorties do be freaks. Because I didn't lose mine to one. But I remember I did hit a shorty that was singing in the choir. And I thought, I didn't even know she liked me. One of her friends had to tell me that she liked me because she was so fucking quiet and holy. Man, once I got to talking to her for a little bit, it was fucking crazy, cuz. Yeah, they the real deal. Yeah, they the real deal freaks, bruh. Like, the only thing, let's just say, I know why she's in church all the time. Because she damn sure had a demon in her. I know why she's in church all the time. So, let's continue. We're getting off track.
Followers
Actually, we're not getting off track because we're talking about church and stuff, and this is, we're not getting off track. But let's finish this up because we still got one more reaction I want to do after this, and then I want to get into some games. We're gonna start getting zooted and booted.
Film is a net positive influence overall. However, the film is still widely regarded by many to be anti-Semitic and dangerous, and Jewish people's suspicions of Mel's underlying beliefs would be confirmed after a drunken rant with a police officer. At 2:36 a.m. on July 28, 2006, LA County Deputy James Meade pulled over Mel Gibson.
Nah. I never did anything in church or at Bible study, but since we are somewhat confessing things or talking about shit, see, they out here doing the Lord. It's pussy, brother. But like, look, I never did anything inside of a church or a holy sanctified place. However, I did have so the nigga,
you know you would fuck anything for free.
Crazy timing. So the guy that used to come pick us up in a church van to take us to Bible study or whatever, all y'all going to hell. I'm not. Tori not. We some sanctified ones. Nah, I ain't gonna say what I've done in the Tori, you too? Hey, yo, so everything we saying holds a little weight. Hold on. Wait, you too? Hold on. No, I'm not doing that. I'm doing that. We gotta finish this. We gotta finish this reaction. But yeah, only thing I did, the nigga that I guess you could say he was like my I guess he was like our youth pastor or whatever. So I mean, I basically smashed the neighborhood thought in the youth pastor's house. If that's kind of bad. I mean, I couldn't do it in my house. I would have got caught. So, and he wasn't there. So,
7 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone in Malibu. The officer spotted an open bottle of tequila in the passenger seat. Me administered a breathalyzer test which showed the actor to have a blood alcohol level of 0.12%.
Thinking a girl on the church bus?
Limit of 0.08.
Church bus?
Gibson threatened the officer while sitting in the back seat of a patrol car, saying he, quote, owns Malibu and will spend all his money to get even with him.
He had to use all the power of Captain... It's King Vitamin, nigga. It's King Vitamin. King Vitamin, nigga. Not to say nothing. I was like, nah, bro. Let's tee up.
Gibson blurted out a barrage of anti-Semitic remarks about the Jews and yelled out, "The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world." Gibson then asked the officer, "Are you a Jew?" The media absolutely exploded, reporting Mel's shocking, hateful statements. Jewish Rabbi Abraham Foxum said, "Liquor loosens the tongue of what's in the mind and in the heart." And in his mind and in his heart is his conspiracy theory about Jews and hatred of Jews. The same day, Gibson issued a public apology which partially reads, "I want to apologize specifically to everyone in the Jewish community for the vitriolic and harmful words that I said. I'm not just asking for forgiveness. I would like to take it one step further and meet with leaders of the Jewish community, with whom I can have a one-on-one discussion to discern the appropriate path for healing." Additionally, Mel opened up about his lifelong battle with alcoholism, being addicted to the drink since he was 13
But when he sucked up Gohan
The torment is every time that you relapse, it's harder to fight your way back.
Mel Gibson ain't suck up Gohan. Appreciate the 25 HR. What's good, my G? That we're trying to get through this. I mean, I don't know what honestly, I don't know what Mel Gibson did. I hope not, because I fuck with Gohan. I mean, Gohan, you know. Exactly. Perfect timing. I was about to say, well, I would hope not, because, you know, I just got in. We're just trying to do some reactions, and then we're gonna get into some games and, you know, get zooted and booted. How do you know he's a Hollywood elite? I would like to think Z Fighters, Hollywood elite. I would like to think like they're on two different wavelengths and they don't cross paths. In my mind, I would like for that to be the narrative, but I don't fucking know. I would like that to not be reality. That's all.
Back.
The risk of everything, life, limb, family.
He was.
Is not enough to keep you from it. That's the hell of it. You are indefensible against it. If your nature is
you will sacrifice
anything.
Most of the Jewish community felt that Mel Gibson's apology is unremorseful and insufficient, and this controversy was the nail in the coffin for his career. For the next 5 years, he virtually disappeared from Hollywood. This resulted in his fans believing that he was silenced for criticizing the Jewish people. To learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. Don't sweat it, Mel. You're still welcome in Australia. We can handle
you heard
the
that
truth.
shit? I'm like,
and the conspiracies tied
about?
to this line of thinking would not slow down. In fact, they just got worse. During Mel's hiatus, there was another rush of the satanic panic and hyperfixation on Hollywood's ties with the devil. In the 2000s and 2010s, just about every mainstream pop artist and rapper has been accused of being in the Illuminati due to their own lyrics or their own imagery. The theory is that you cannot achieve this level of success without entering the secret society that controls the entertainment industry. Jay-Z and Beyonce are some of the most high-profile celebrities accused of being tied to the cult. The two holding up their signature Rock Nation hand sign was believed to symbolize the all-seeing eye, which is commonly associated with the Freemason logo or Illuminati symbolism. Beyonce even went out of her way to show the sign during the Super Bowl halftime performance. She even once posted a photo on Instagram of her blocking out Jesus over an Andy Warhol mural of the Last Supper. You also had Jay-Z's video
that's crazy. I didn't even notice that.
Which is loaded with symbolism. A crucifix, thick red lips dripping blood, and goat skulls with massive horns. Whenever a tragic death happened in Hollywood, it was attributed to being a ritualistic sacrifice. Rumors circled that Kanye West sacrificed his own mother, who tragically died during plastic surgery, to achieve even higher levels of fame. Or that Amy Winehouse was trying to leave or refuse the Illuminati, and she was killed for it, which was amplified because of what she said in this interview.
Have they tried to mold you in any way, though, if people ask you to do things to change the way you look or speak or behave?
Yeah, one of them tried to mold me into a big triangle shape, and I went, no.
Now, none of this information can be substantiated with any facts. We don't even know how any of these rumors or conspiracies started in the first place. But that doesn't mean that they're entirely baseless. There are a considerable number of celebrities that have leaned into the conspiracy as a shocking formula to get attention in the press. Like when Lil Nas X sold 666 pairs of Nike sneakers with pentagrams and a drop of real human blood on them. And his Montero music video where he descends down to hell to give the devil a lap dance. There have also been some stars straight up admitting to having an allegiance to the devil.
You didn't have to show that fucking clip.
Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
He is in Illuminati. I'm in Illuminati.
That's how I got introduced to the music.
Gay!
I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music.
Yeah, like why like all the... You ever notice that shit too? Why does that go hand in hand? Why does like Illuminati, satanic, and gay shit all go hand in hand? Kind of, you know? And like, I'm not saying gay people are evil. Evil! But all I'm saying is, you notice how there's always a lot of like freaky, fruity behavior when it comes to like Illuminati and devil shit, you know? Because you got to get bent over as a straight dude to be in it. That probably is for sure one of the requirements. You dead ass got to like get railed. You got to, yeah, for sure. That got to be one of the requirements for the rituals. Because, you know, there's like a humiliation one. So there's got to be different ones. There's got to be different ones. But, that's what I'm saying. I got no problem with gay people. As long as you don't be like gay towards me. But like, because I got gay friends and they cool as shit. You won't even be able to tell they fucking gay. You know what I'm saying? And if they are gay, they just regular niggas. But it's just weird how like every time demon shit comes up. So are demons gay? This is a legit question. I'm not trying to be funny. Are demons gay? Shout out to the niggas. You're not gonna shout out to the bitches either? So you shout out all gay niggas but no gay women? Sexist. Demonically gay. I'm thinking like maybe demons are gay. And like maybe they just like possess. Let's continue. I'm about to like my brain is expanding because I'm thinking a whole lot. I'm not gonna hold you.
But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Yet most people chalk these confessions up to nothing more than marketing. Celebrities knowing that the internet is going to run off on conspiracy theories and just keep their names in blogs and tabloids and tweets.
And I ain't
but in
even
the past
smoke
few
yet.
years, these conspiracies have gotten much
my brain
deeper.
be doing that whenever I be locked in on like real like thought-provoking conspiracy shit or shit that has to do with like demons. Not so much politics, because I'm not really into politics, but shit that has to do with like demons, world government, secret society, shit like that. Bro, I'll sit there and I'll overanalyze shit that don't even need to be thought about. But then again, maybe that's the problem. Because no one wants to think about it, you know? You know?
Darker and more politically oriented, while many people have become more open to the idea that Hollywood is filled with filthy rich sinners who indulge in immoral behavior.
And then all these niggas, they all look alike too. They all the ones that get arrested for like freak ass shit, they all kind of look alike. They look like an old disheveled white man that's like soulless in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? I deadass, you know how it be like on Men in Black, where those the roaches jumped into that nigga and were just wearing them as like a human skin suit. I be feeling like the gay demons. What if the gay demons do that to like politicians and world leaders? They just like jump in their body and just do a whole bunch of gay demon shit, but with the human skin. Cause you gotta think, some of their behavior is literally not human. Some of that shit is weird, bro. Like, dead ass weird.
Behavior. When it comes to politicians and their involvement in this type of behavior, there is still a clear divide between right wing and left wing. Then again, it's understandable why a logical, reasonable person would reject these theories. Like the one where global elites.
So you mean like everybody, because yeah, everybody is a descendant of everybody. Well, everybody's a descendant of like the same person. Oh, so that's what you mean by they be fucking each other. So y'all got like mixed chromosomes and they all fucked up in the head because they gotta keep the bloodline pure. So somebody cousins was fucking, and then somebody's aunties was fucking, and then ew, somebody's brother and sister was fucking, and then yeah. My nigga Patrick CC finally not looking like a YouTube version of Luigi. He's switching it up. He's switching it up. But okay. I get it.
Torture children to harvest the chemical adrenochrome from their blood, which they then inject in order to stay healthy and young. Now, adrenochrome is produced by the oxidation of adrenaline and has no known psychoactive effects. This narrative echoes historical anti-Semitic blood libel myths, falsely accusing Jews of using Christian children's blood for rituals. A famous case in 1475 is a horrific example. 2-year-old Simon disappeared from the Italian city of
This is dead ass real shit, bro. The whole adrenochrome market, that is real, bro. Like even when there was cases where a lot of motherfuckers went missing, or like it was like I forgot what it was, some part of Africa or someplace where a whole lot of kids just went missing all of a fucking sudden. But coincidentally, something else was happening in America, which was like a distraction. But basically, they was harvesting for, you know, the adrenochrome shit. And no one was talking about all the missing kids, but they was I think actually, coincidentally, I think that shit happened around the same time the aliens was in the mall. Y'all remember that shit? When the aliens touched down, and where was it? Miami or some shit, and then it turns out, oh, it's just a hoax or whatever. That was the same time where all of them fucking kids went missing. But nobody really, it didn't make headlines. Nobody really talked about it. They harvest newborns, take organs and blood, government down, self-admitted on the camera. Bro, shit is dead ass wild. It's some real, like, dead real shit going on. That it's like, bro, the veil is so thin at this point, they can put the truth in front of you and it can seem like a lie. They can dead ass tell you, yep, we're all reptilians. Yep, we drank baby blood. We've been doing it for years. They can dead ass say that right in front of our face right now, and I believe half of the public ain't even gonna believe it, and then the other half is probably gonna think it's just like, oh wait, we're just being hacked by something. They can dead ass tell you the truth right now, and you gonna still feel like you're being lied to. Just because you don't know what to fucking trust anymore.
And the local Jewish community was rounded up and burned at the stake after being forced to confess under torture that the boy had been sacrificed and his blood used to bake matzah. This blood harvesting theory has been closely intertwined with Pizzagate, which claimed that Hillary Clinton was running a child ring out of the Comet Ping Pong pizza shop in Washington, D.C. The origins of this conspiracy derive from 30,000 leaked emails sent to and from Hillary Clinton's private email server while she was the Secretary of State. The emails were mainly about fundraising events, but high-profile pro-Donald Trump figures such as Mike Cernovich and Alex Jones began advancing the claim that the emails were proof of ritualistic child abuse. One email in question belonged to Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, revealing an invitation by his brother to a spirit cooking dinner at the home of artist Marina Abramovich. She wrote, "I am so looking forward to the spirit cooking dinner at my place. Do you think you will be able to let me know if your brother is joining?" Spirit cooking with essential aphrodisiac recipes is a performance art piece released in 1996, with Marina writing a series of cryptic, poetic
with a sharp knife cut deeply into the middle of your left hand. Eat the pain. Nigga, huh? Oh, hell no.
Instructions and recipes on walls in pig's blood. People have interpreted the performance art as occult or satanic rituals. They arrived at those conclusions from countless performance art gatherings.
What the fuck?
With high-profile figures that showcase them eating and drinking off of or around stagnant.
I've seen this shit too. I've seen these type of events. That's so fucking odd, my nigga. Huh?
And human bodies. Perhaps one of the weirdest ones is Lady Gaga drinking the liquid surrounding this woman's body that seemingly symbolizes someone dying and bleeding out. Marina has also been tied to several Hollywood stars, including Jay-Z and Beyonce. She even directed and was featured in Jay-Z's 2013 performance art film called Picasso Baby. Nobody knows exactly what happened at these private spirit cooking dinners or if Hillary Clinton even attended, but many believe that the elites are acting openly to taunt the public. Opposers look at the believers of these conspiracy theories as really nothing more than victims of right-wing propaganda. There is no doubt that Trump's relentless attack on the mainstream media for pushing fake news has led to many people automatically questioning what they see online and in the news.
Exactly what I said earlier, bro. You don't know what the fuck is cap and what the fuck is real nowadays. It's just, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt, and you gotta start looking at shit with your own third eye, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just got to start feeling shit from your own perspective and seeing things with your own, you know what I'm saying? Versus just hearing or getting fed shit, you know what I'm saying? Right now, niggas is literally just can feed us any story and you might run with it, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they have some type of something to like, oh, here's a clip, here's a this, here's a, you know what I'm saying? You gotta start using this one.
Now, asking questions and wanting to fact-check things is completely normal, but it can start to spiral out of control. Opposers believe that these conspiracies rely on extreme, unfounded claims that defy logic, evidence, and basic scientific understanding. The deep social and psychological entrenchment of believers coupled with their rejection of credible evidence can make individuals seem disconnected from rational thought, which is perfectly represented by this QAnon follower subjecting his children to his ideology.
Now you have to understand that he speaks in cryptic code. There's actually a Q clock that you have to decipher all this stuff from.
So this is a actual Q drop.
Yeah. Anderson Cooper, and you can see all the satanic artwork in the background, which is just troubling. I mean, you have a man here getting burned alive while there's some sort of satanic ritual going around in the background.
I see that sacrifice is misspelled. Do you think that's also cryptic?
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are smart. Anything that's misspelled, anything that looks out of the ordinary, there's something to it. The purpose of the movement is to question everything.
The people who are pulling the strings is the Italian Vatican. They actually are reptilian bloodlines from another planet. They're basically robots. And the evil people that are there, such as the Rothschilds, who suck blood out of children to get adrenochrome and stay young and beautiful forever.
But then something happened that gave enough justification to conspiracy theorists to essentially believe every rumor they ever heard, which was the investigation, arrest, and death of Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was a high-profile financier that operated a vast network of sexual abuse and human trafficking involving underage girls. Countless powerful figures and high-profile celebrities were connected to and friends with Epstein. Suddenly, the idea that there is a pedophilic global sex trafficking organization that Hollywood stars may be involved in wasn't a conspiracy. It was true. However, since Jeffrey Epstein happened to die before he went on trial, the case remains unsolved. And still, 6 years later, no names, no flight logs to his private island, or really any information has been revealed that incriminates any co-conspirators. As far as we know, Epstein and his wife, Ghislaine Maxwell, were the only two operators and offenders. Mel Gibson saw this as the perfect time to revive his career, to come back and express the sentiments he alluded to 25 years prior.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Our future is our children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
In 2023, Mel re-arrived in the pop culture zeitgeist as he was the executive producer of the film Sound of Freedom. This is a low-budget action thriller about a US federal agent who goes rogue on a mission to rescue children in Latin America from sex sex trafficking. After raking in over $180 million at the domestic box office, it drew an immense amount of criticism. Much of the controversy surrounding this film stems from Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard, who have openly supported QAnon. They perpetuated narratives that the elites are nothing more than adrenochrome harvesting, child sacrificing heathens, which made opposers feel that the film wasn't even worth watching if you had incredibly biased and radical men writing and producing it. But much like Gibson's Passion of the Christ, many supporters felt that even if the film doesn't provide a realistic perception of what it takes to discover and rescue child trafficking victims, just discussing the global issue is a net positive. That's definitely how most of Joe Rogan's followers felt after Mel's appearance on his show. Although Mel wasn't talking about Hollywood specifically, he did have some interesting suspicions about human civilization as a whole.
We're looking at a world where there are big realms, spiritual realms. There's good, there's evil, and they are slugging it out for the souls of mankind. And my question is, why are we even important? Little old flawed humanity, why are we important in that process where the big realms are slugging it out over us?
Hollywood has become so political, it's hard to separate the two. Musicians, actors, producers often feel the need to take a political stance these days, and if they don't, they are criticized for staying quiet. It's gotten so bad that it feels like modern films are ruined just to align with a political ideology. Combine that with all these sadistic conspiracy theories, and it has many reconsidering if they want to support this industry at all anymore. Additionally, celebrities are speaking out and recounting their Hollywood horror stories and being met with love and support, whereas before they would be ostracized and called crazy. We have seen this with countless child stars, once deemed as crash-out drug addicts, and now we understand what Dan Schneider and associates may or may not have done to cause that. President Donald Trump even announced Mel Gibson as a special ambassador to the quote, great but very troubled Hollywood, and he will make suggestions directly to the president to bring back Hollywood stronger than ever before. Mel Gibson recognized something was off about Hollywood. He was vague when he described it, but I think it's safe to say his suspicions were sound. Even if you don't believe 90% of what was presented in this video, you can still at least get behind the idea that Hollywood is filled with narcissistic sociopaths. Granted, Mel Gibson might have also been that. He may not have been the best messenger. There is no doubt he has some extreme ideologies, ones that most rational people could never align with.
But I feel like, all right, he is crazy. He is racist. If he does call us the blacks, I don't feel like that's the craziest thing. I don't think it's the craziest thing, you know. But W video, it was very eye opening. This one was actually good, and I was immersed. This one was a really fire one because I already knew this nigga knew a lot, and he, you know, he a little whacked off his wazoo, but you know, he telling the truth, but just in a weird way.